Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here for day 7 of the Summer League. And again, today I'm going to be breaking down the main slate for you guys. Real quick, let's go over my lineup from Wednesday. So this is my final lineup here. Nasmi, Trelong, Tyler Hero, Silva, Kakak, Welsh, Goodwin, Kankar, Jacob Evans. News, actually, we got starting lineup news for a lot of the early games before lock, which is really helpful. The Miami-Minnesota lineup. That was the first game of the day, and that came out before lock. I tweeted out about the Miami guys because they were just, the Miami guys, they've been giving them big minutes. That would be Tyler Hero, Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, and Mayton. I said it wouldn't be a bad idea to load up on those guys. Now, looking back on it, I probably should have got a couple more Miami guys in my lineup. But I was pretty set. I really was, confident in my, what I had, so I stayed with what I had. Nasmi Trelong, I did really like him. He was okay, not great, but also not going to hurt you either. 26.75 is not terrible. Tyler Hero, that was the one frustrating part. He was lighting it up in the first quarter. I think he only maybe got 1 or 2 fantasy points in the second half. Now, was I worried about a Koji defense? A little bit. Koji's a solid defender, but I'm not going to take matchups too much into consideration for the Summer League. I really like the Miami guys. Nunn, Hero, Duncan Robinson, brought those guys up, even Mayton. But the reason I went with Hero out of those 4 was because shooting guard was a little more thin. I felt confident in my point guards. I really liked Mitro Long and Brandon Goodwin. So that's why I kind of just stuck with Hero again. Got a little unlucky that he just got shut down in the second half. Silva was a Valley guy that I brought up. He was okay there, 21.5. And then Kakak's going right now in the second quarter. He's got 10.75. He was a Valley guy that I did like. The late guys, Welsh, Goodwin, Kankar, Jacob Evans, talked about all 4 of those guys. I'm not in great shape, but I'm not in terrible shape. Probably need a big night from some of these late guys to push me into the cash, so we'll see. Let's break down this. Let's break down this 6-game slate. And that would not be the right contest. Where are we at? There we are. All right. So we got Aaron Holiday at the top at 8.2. I thought they just set him out for rest. They're saying it's a sore left hip. I think they could just be saying that because they wanted to rest him, but you never know. At 8.2K, he was playing big minutes, 35 in each of the last 2 games. Unless we had confirmation before that he's going to start and play, I can't take the risk on it. But if we do, I think he's a spend up that I do like just because the minutes are there and the production is there. Carson Edwards, it's just tough for any of the Boston guys. He's been doing solid, but just the minutes are not fully there for him. For a guy at 8K, I'd rather look elsewhere. Let's see. Chris Clemons, a guy that the minutes have been there. 25, 24, and 31 minutes each of the last 3 games, and has been very productive. And the thing I like is he's being really aggressive on offense. 20 shots, 14 shots, 15 shots. Another thing, too, that he's got going for him is Isaiah Hartstein will be out for the rest of the Summer League. He got injured. So, obviously it's opposite positions, point guard and center, but Hartenstein was a guy that took up a lot of the usage, and I think some of that goes to Clemons here. So at 6.8K, I think he looks really solid here in the mid-tier. Let's see. Justin Robinson, I think he's okay. We got no Troy Brown Jr. He got injured. Where's Troy Brown? Small forward. He got injured last game and did not return, so I assume they're probably just going to hold him out. So maybe that gives a slight boost to Justin Robinson, but the minutes, I would like it if you're seeing a few extra minutes. He hasn't really flashed upside. A guy below him, though, that I do really like here is Kyle Guy, 6K. The price is not coming up on him enough. The thing I really like is the minutes, 30, 33, 31. He's basically locked in for 30 minutes a night. I will take that all day for 6K, so I really like Kyle Guy. Once again, Frank Mason is yet to play in the Summer League. I don't expect him to play. If we get confirmation that he's going to play, that would be a slight downgrade to Kyle Guy, but I really don't expect Frank Mason to play. And then below Frank Mason, you got Jordan LOYD at 5.9, who I really like too. I was worried about him and Boucher not playing again this game in New York, but they did announce the starters a few minutes before lock, so I switched to get LOYD and Boucher in. Both those guys were really solid. They had a day off, so I fully expect them to play. The minutes are there for him. A guy that fills up the stat sheet, does on the defensive end too. 3, 6, and 3 steals for the first 3 games. Don't know if we can fully expect that again, but I think he's a really safe play here at 5.9K. Akun Purcell here. So he would be the direct beneficiary of Aaron Holiday being ruled out. Even if Holiday plays, he still was getting solid minutes. But I think another guy that, in the mid-tier, kind of cheaper range that I do like, and he would get a big boost if there's no Aaron Holiday. CHIOZZA, a guy that doesn't have huge upside at 5.7K, but is probably going to play 25 to 30 minutes. He's going to get you a lot of assists for sure. So I think he's an okay option. Christian here was a little disappointing, played only 24 minutes, 16 fantasy points, but another guy in the mid-tier that you can consider for sure. Like the Boston guys, Waters at 5.3, sure, but the minutes are just, he's not going to see more than like 20, 25 minutes. That's what worries me about, a lot of these Boston guys. All right, let's move on to shooting guard. Shooting guard, small forward, just putting it out there, it's kind of weak today. But yeah, let's try and break it down. Gary Trent Jr. as a spend up at 7.6. Anthony Simmons did get injured, and I think they ruled him out. A grade 1 ankle sprain, so I assume he's going to be out for the rest of the summer league. So that would be a boost to Gary Trent Jr. here. Played 31 minutes last time out. He's going to shoot the ball a ton, 12, 15 times. So at 7.6K, I think he's a solid spend-up option. Diallo, yeah, he's a good player, but hasn't really flashed the huge upside, so probably not for me. Grayson Allen, it's just tough. Memphis, like Boston, really likes to spread out the minutes. He's not going to see more than like 25 minutes at most. And I'm probably going to look elsewhere. So there's a lot of shooting guards here in this 5K range. I'm not going to break down all of them, but you can see their average fantasy points here. All of them, right around 20 or so. I don't have a strong take besides Jerome Robinson. He would probably be my favorite of these guys in this price range. It's played 26 and 29 minutes each of the last 2 games. 15 shots in both those games. So I do like him in that range. But any of these other guys, really, I'm not going to talk you off them. That's kind of my take on the shooting guards here. Really cheap guys. Probably no one I would take a risk on. So let's move on to small forward. Troy Brown again got injured. I don't expect him to play. I got really unlucky. I had Troy Brown and Hartstein in my lineup last night. 2 injuries and a DNP with Watanabe. So it was a mess last night for sure for me. Hervey here, it's played 26, 30, and 24 minutes of the first 3 games. They have him listed as questionable. I haven't seen anything about him being questionable, but if we get news that there's a chance he's not going to play, obviously I'm going to look elsewhere. I think he's an okay option, but I'll get to a power forward in the center here who I really like as kind of more spun up. So for that reason, probably not going to go that way. DeAndre Hunter, another guy that's been injured. He's only played in 1 game. Even if he does play, don't think it's from me. Terrence Mann, I think this is a pretty solid play. And what I like is this guy fills up the stat sheet. He doesn't have to score to get fantasy points. He'll get a lot of rebounds. He'll get you some assists, block and a steal here and there. So at 7K, the price is getting up there on him a bit, but I think he's a decent option here. Let's see. Admiral Schofield, I think, is okay. Gary Clark, the first 2 games did not do much, and then last game out, put up 41 fantasy points. I think maybe some people chase it. I think he's okay. I mean, I don't have a strong take either way. You know, yeah, that's basically my take. If you like him, I'm not going to talk you off. I'm not going to talk you off him. If you don't want to play him, that's perfectly fine too. I think there's a lot of solid guys priced similar in his range. Bowen here, 6.2. He's played 27 and 32 minutes. I think he's another guy in the mid tier that's pretty solid. Let's see. Other than that, it's really like small forward and shooting guard are pretty weak. There's really not a whole lot here. Yeah, let's move on to power forward. So Chris Boucher, really like this play at 8.1K. He's a guy I talked about in all my videos. You know, he's just going to produce when he's out there. 32, 35, 28 minutes last 3 games. You know, 40 fantasy points in every single game. And he's just a guy that, you know, like I said, he's going to be really aggressive on the offensive end. So I really like him as a spend up at 8.1K. I fully expect him to play again. Toronto has had a day of rest, so I fully expect him to play. Really like him as a spend up. The Memphis guys, Bruno, I just can't do it. The minutes are too spread out. 7K is kind of a lot for a guy that probably only going to play 20, 22 minutes, so can't do it. Rui Hachimura for Washington sat out last game just because of rest, though. I fully expect him to be back, and there's no Troy Brown. So, you know, there's a lot of usage to go around. I fully expect him to pick up a good amount of this usage, probably play, 30 minutes or so. So I like him a good amount here at 6.7K. Hartstein, obviously he's out, and he'll be out for the rest of the Summer League. Now, you know, I don't have, like, confirmation of who is going to pick up those minutes for Hartstein, but I'm going to wait for a starting lineup to see, you know, who it could be. You know, it could be Jonathan Williams here at 5.8K. You know, he did see 21 minutes last time out with, you know, Hartstein getting injured. You know, he would probably be a beneficiary of that, but I'm going to wait for a starting lineup for that Hartstein news. Elise Johnson, just the price is not coming up on him enough. And the minutes I really like, 30, 28, 33. He's a solid guy in the mid-tier that I feel pretty comfortable about. Now, if you want a more risky play, you got Mo Wagner here at 6K. It's just the minutes, 16 and 19 minutes. This guy in the Summer League last year, he was, you know, one of the best, you know, fantasy producers out there. But you know, I would like it if he was just playing more minutes, 16 and 19. Maybe they raise it here in this next game, but yeah, I think he's worth a shot if you're making multiple lineups, just because he does have some pretty big upside. Again, the Memphis guys, it's just, I can't do it. The minutes are too spread out. Let's see, is there anyone else really? Yeah, I don't think so. So let's move on to center. Center, you got Tony Bradley here at 6.9K. Really like this play. He's a guy that's just been producing, you know, at a very high level for Utah in the Summer League. So I really like him at 6.9K. Below that, you got Hernandez at 6.4. I think it's a perfectly fine option. Going to play probably right around 25 minutes or so. But I'm playing Boucher most likely. So I don't want to play both bigs for Toronto. So for that reason, I'm probably off Hernandez. If you want to, you know, save some money, go Hernandez, fade Boucher. I don't think it's the worst idea, but it's not going to be the way that I go. Then you got Cabangeli at 6.2. Probably going to play right around 25 minutes. And is very productive when he gets that time. So 6.2K, I like him quite a bit here. And I think the two-center approach with Tony Bradley and Cabangeli looks pretty appealing to me. Below that, you know, a guy that I'll bring up is Fernando. Kind of let some people down in the early only last time. Only got, you know, 13 fantasy points, but I think he's okay. He's an okay option. Willie Reed, pretty sure he's out. Or this thing was out. Let's see. Is there anyone else? Yeah, no one really else for me. I do really like that two-center approach here with Cabangeli and Tony Bradley. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's really important. I'll put it in the description below. I retweet information right when I get it. I pass news along. So definitely very important to follow me on Twitter. If you guys have been enjoying this content in the Summer League, I would really appreciate if you guys like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. I'll answer all the comments, or you can just tweet at me. I'm very active on Twitter, so if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them on Twitter for you. And I'll be back for another video tomorrow, so I'll see you guys then.